Don't care. Hey, everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Michael.
And we are Borden, Ohio. Today, we're going to talk about a movie that we both watched, I guess, trying to stay relevant with the times. Rebel Moon. On the count of three, I want you to say one word to best describe this movie. And I'm going to do it too.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Shit.
Poop. I thought you said we should probably not. Oh. I was going to say shit.
YouTube doesn't like when you curse. We're not monetized anyway, so who gives a crap right now?
But we should be.
Yeah. I don't like, where do you want to start with this one? Like, I'd like to preface that I like Zack Snyder.
I like him very much. I like his style.
Yeah.
How many minutes in did you want to turn it off? Like, how many minutes were you? I wrote down when I was bored. Then I wrote down when I wanted to shut it off.
I mean, I was bored pretty quickly.
Yeah, I said 10 minutes in.
None of the characters were compelling in the slightest.
And weren't the sets and the CGI just absolutely horrible almost all the time?
The physical sets were fine, but like the background.
You mean Hobbit Town? Hobbiton?
Well, there's nothing wrong with Hobbiton.
There's nothing wrong with Hobbiton.
Hobbiton?
But their little fucking village was basically Hobbiton.
That's fine. I think it's more like the backdrop of space looked weird as fuck.
I thought everything on the planets anytime she was digging in the dirt for God knows what, I guess farming.
Yeah, they're farmers.
The backdrop looked like shit.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like,
yeah.
The background of space, like the sky, it all looked like
really bad.
It was very strange.
Did you care about anybody?
No.
No. It was awful.
This is one of those, definitely another one of those types of stories that could have benefited for, like, maybe he should have done a Netflix show instead of a movie where he's like, it's dependent on this like lore that apparently he has in his head, but like it's too much. It's like too much complexity of like what he's trying to do. If you're gonna have like a whole new world where you're gonna say, this is the scenario, you got to be like Mad Max Fury Road, where you just let the audience decide like some things there are, just see things about the world and understand like, oh, this is how this world works, and you keep your story simple as fuck. That, like, Mad Max Fury Road is a road trip. It's like a car chase. That's it.
Tell me what you think his pitch was when he came in and said, I got this idea for this.
Well, I can definitely tell why Disney was like, nah, fuck yourself. We have our own terrible Star Wars movies to make.
It's so awful. Like, I wrote down notes, but yeah, it's like, what are we at the fucking Shire and with the fireworks opening and shit with everyone drinking and partying? I mean, it was.
Were they celebrating the harvest? I don't even remember what was going on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was supposed to be like fuck town now. Remember, it was like everybody fuck.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
That was really weird. Everybody got all the work done outside. If everybody finished harvesting,
if we want a fruitful harvest, we got to have fruitful times in the bedroom.
Yeah. And then she had like two guys that wanted a mega banger, the guy from Game of Thrones and the guy that didn't speak.
Yeah. And then there was another guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. Like, you realize that the bad guy, the Thomas Shelby,
yes,
Nazi version of Thomas Shelby.
He's the guy from Deadpool, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Him and her love interest played the same fucking character.
It's the same character.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's right. They did. Yeah.
Dario.
I actually liked him better than I like both actors. I think I liked his look better. Anyway.
I feel like we're getting all over the place.
Okay. So what was his pitch? He goes in and says what? Because I don't see
like,
how anybody.
Hey, have you seen one of my movies? Imagine Star Wars with slow motion. We'll keep the shitty dialogue. That's a hallmark of the more recent Star Wars movies. We'll keep the crappy dialogue, but slow motion, and
it was slow motion every 5 minutes.
I know, like slow motion rice or seeds into the ground. And I'm like, what it felt like to me before I get into some like specific stuff, is it felt like somebody imitating Snyder. It didn't actually feel like Zack Snyder made this film.
No, and I'm trying to. I could not get past how bad what you're calling the background space. How bad it was all the time. No matter where they moved, it was bad all the time, and it was so fucking boring. It was so boring. I hated all of it. I hated Thanos, and now she's Gamora. I hated all of it. He was Thanos. He came in,
Oh, yeah,
destroyed her whole village or whatever the fuck, decided to keep her. So he went through and like, okay, that's a good idea. I'll steal that from the Avengers, and then I'll take some people from Game of Thrones. What was the I had some Game of Thrones? She was going in and freeing the Unsullied Eagle people. I go, she's freeing these people to fight her battle. Oh, okay, now we got Game of Thrones.
One person. But that was also like the scene of Jake Sully and Avatar
Fight for
taming
me?
his Avatar dragon.
Sure. but I'm saying she went in and killed all these people to free them, to have them fight for her.
Yeah. So, hey, I know you're a slave to this guy, but you want to come be a slave for me?
And then they died. And all of them died like 20 minutes later. There's only like 4 people left at the end of the film, right?
No.
Remember all those people that had like the fucking eyeshadow stuff all over their face? They all went onto that contraption.
A few of those people died. But like,
wasn't there like 4 left at the end of it?
Of those specific
when they were
people?
creating Darth Vader at the end of it? I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Except I've
gotta
seen this before.
I got to get to my notes too.
And the fucking okay, so it was Krull, the movie Krull, which I love, and it is horrible. I get it, but I love that film. Love it back in the day. It was Game of Thrones with Free and the Unsullied. It was Star Wars. He just went through and I mean, they even had the fucking glaive from Krull. Somebody had that thing and then the spider was absolutely modeled from the Spider Woman from Krull. And then what the fuck was with the Spider Woman who had 8 legs of spears, right? When they pulled one up, they would show they were spear pointed feet, but she's holding a spear. Why? You got 8
because
spears.
Her human hands don't have spears on them. You got to have
How many fucking, you need 9 spears to kill somebody?
Well, I got to say, that one character had more character development than anybody else in the entire
by far, yeah.
film, because I was like, I actually like, after hearing her tell her story while fighting, like I'm on the side of the spider chick.
Yeah.
These people came in, she can't have no more spider babies. They fucked up her world. That is just a grieving mother out for revenge.
Yes.
It tells me that the people who made this movie don't like mothers. They're against moms. But
yes.
I have very few notes. But it's only because I
had notes. Your Kai is the main enforcer.
I know you've already been going through your shit.
Fucking the RATSs from Princess Bride. They had the rodents of a abnormal fucking whatever size and blah blah blah. Those were in it. I'm like, go ahead. I'll let you go now. I'm sorry. I was really bad. I was really upset about this movie.
I just, I only have a few because the things that I thought were funny are like incredibly bad. The obvious ripoff of the cantina scene.
Oh yeah,
where Harvey Weinstein showed up and grabbed that dude's dick.
Yeah,
that was pretty great.
That was great.
what I like that in this world, like that's what caused the provocation. It couldn't just be like, oh, I bumped into you like in Star Wars. Like, no, he's got to grab his dick.
Yeah,
and he wants to fuck him. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. I laughed when they go to Rome World, where I'm assuming the movie Gladiator took place because
the guy Gladiator's in it.
I had to type out like phonetically how to pronounce this guy's name. Jaimin Hansu is there just waiting after the events of Gladiator, and they picked him up to go fight. I already said that, like, basically whoever the costume designer, whatever designer was like, hey, you know what people like? They like Peaky Blinders. Let's make the bad guy look like Thomas Shelby.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
Oh,
come
yeah,
on.
it's, yeah.
But I also like, man, it's so overhanded. Like, hey, they're not just bad guys. They just look like Nazis. They're space Nazis. Also, the fact that Carrie Elwes was apparently the king who was slain. I referred to that as Dread Pirate Hitler. And then so I was like, that thing looks familiar. That fucking little robot that opens up and like holds people
Oh, yeah, yeah.
looks dead on the sculpture in Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
That
I
Delia
thought the same
makes.
thing. Yeah.
And it does the same
And
thing.
it does the same thing.
And I was like, oh my God.
And the wig Carrie always is wearing, it's so bad. Like, it didn't even attach right in spots on his head. And I'm like, you weren't doing this. They gave you plenty of money to do this movie. I don't know why. It's three. Is it going to be 3 movies or is it just
I think
2?
it's just 2, part 1 and 2.
I want to hear the pitch. I want to know how he pitched this and got anyone to say yes to it.
Well,
There's nothing in it that's.
I think the easy answer to that question was the uproar for the Snyder cut of the Justice League and how that was actually somewhat successful. But they built in a Snyder cut with this film because what they released is a PG-13 movie, but he's already stated there's going to be an R-rated director's
We're not
cut
watching
that'll be
that, right?
longer. And I think they even said like it's basically going to be like a whole different movie. And I'm like, well, why the fuck am I not watching that movie?
Are we gonna
Why
watch
did I
that?
just watch that movie?
Do we have to watch it since we watch? There's no way it's going to be better. There's just no. I will say, the Snyder
Well-
cut made that one actually better.
Yeah, it was. I was
I
still
mean,
like
it's still, but
it
it's
was way
better.
too long.
Yeah,
like most movies.
it was so bad. Now I'm going to watch a second one because
Well, yeah, you gotta see.
I got to see how
Because
shit.
there was no story. There was like, hey, I don't like. What's the greater story? Like Star Wars, you had farm boy,
and she's farming.
kind of exactly. Like gets recruited into this adventure, right?
Yeah,
And at first it's just because like of this, like intrigue and like he's been wanting to go to pilot school and shit. But it becomes so much more because he no longer has a place to go to because his aunt and uncle get killed. So he just kind of like gets into this bigger story that is a rebellion happening around him that he was just a small piece that didn't know anything about it. Like just, rumor. Yeah. They know there's a fucking bad empire. They know there are rebels. And like the whole thing is like, we need to recruit some fighters to help us fight to help this farm village. Like the stakes are so like low.
Yeah.
That's not even like, they didn't even get really brought into the full fight. They're just like, well, we want to protect these farmers.
and is it like there's no Death Star that we know of? There's no. So what? They just keep invading planets and destroying the cities.
I guess.
But for what? What are they doing it for?
I don't know. I don't know the motivations of. Yeah, like that's how poorly this was done. Like the whole story was just like a outline, and they just shot it.
They shot it as is.
But it was like, okay, well, we know we need to get the reason for this chick to go recruit like badass people, right? So she does that, and then that's the rest of the movie. And they're like, oh, we need to have some kind of climax, so they have to fight the guys, right? But like, there was no like there was no banter, no the teammates, like the friction between these new teammates, like, and also like you kind of learn in the end that all these people were like important because like fucking Thomas Shelby, he's like, he goes around to each one of them, he's like, oh, and you the fabled general, and you the notorious fighter, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I know like Jaimin was a general because they talked about that in the one sentence of backstory they gave him.
Correct.
But it's like, okay, all these people were like fabled, known people. What? And then I love that like the only like story we get is like randomly like her telling Dario number 2 that she was like a bad guy for a while
Yeah.
and had like a I don't know, pixie haircut means you're bad and you grow it out when you're good again. Like that's I don't know what message that's sending
Yeah.
our young daughters. I don't have one, but you have one.
I do. Yeah.
The we as in like as a society.
Yeah.
What message are we sending them? And then she was like, at the end of it, she was like, I just thought you should know me. Or something stupid like that.
Yeah, really stupid like that.
I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
And everyone was just kind of like, okay. And then
I was like, I get why they were telling it because we need to understand why she's an apparent badass
Why she's
and
Gamora.
what her potential motivations are. And it's like, oh yeah, the big reveal that like the evil guy behind the curtain is like her Thanos dad. Oh, you got me. I didn't see that one coming at all.
so
I'm sure he's slaying the king.
yeah, which is supposed. That's pretty much like the Baron from Dune, then, right? And then he's the. It's nothing's original, and it's all shit.
Yes. Like, not even like sometimes like I would be like Snyder's style at least saves up a little bit where like it's still at least entertaining, like watchable, like you may agree or disagree, but that what was it fucking called? Like Sucker Punch or whatever it was.
Sucker Punch, yeah, stylistically gorgeous.
Like yeah. Like at least I was like visually entertained.
Yeah.
I was like the movie it was like the story's dumb, but I was sitting there like going, oh, she's fighting a big samurai. That's pretty cool. Like, you know.
and Tom Hardy's in it, and I didn't even realize that the first time I watched
What?
it. Yeah, he's the scientist.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Second time I watched it, I go, oh shit! And it was just happened to be on one day. I'm like, oh, this is pretty. I'll watch this for a bit. I'm like, wait a minute, there's Tom Hardy. I didn't notice that before. I'm like, shit, is he in it? Oh my god, he's in the whole fucking movie. Yeah, he's the doctor or whatever.
I kind of want to watch it again just to see that.
Just to see that. Yep. I mean, where's the cool weapons? Where's the lightsabers? Where's
there was
the
one
force?
scene with lightsabers,
Oh wow.
but even that was kind of strange. Like they looked cool because they like had like kind of like smoky trails to them because they weren't lasers,
right.
but they never really kind of explained what they were or how she even ignited them
Yeah.
to be like
They
that.
just left
Was it like mechanical? Was it magical? What was it besides like, hey, look, these look like lightsabers, which are cool, right? Everyone likes those. I don't know.
Okay, can I? So who made Zack Snyder do the studio cut? Did they say this has to be PG-13?
I have no fucking clue.
Because what I thought was basically like Adam Sandler and whoever he has directing and doing.
You know,
whatever.
the mic works better when you don't put your face completely away from it.
My eye itched. Anyway,
Okay.
I would assume Zach has final say on his film because Netflix just kind of goes, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Here's a shit ton of money. Go make your movie. And they don't really get involved from what I've read with other people. So it's almost like he wanted to do a twofer for whatever. Part
of me wonders if there was like, well, it couldn't be this whole like, hey, you know, the Snyder cut was like such a hit. Like we gotta like have a built-in Snyder cut because like part of the attraction to that was that the actual film that went out was not his film. Like it was not what he
Correct, yeah.
wanted
and that
out
made
to
sense.
the public.
Yeah.
But he made this PG-13 one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if Netflix wanted to completely like do it all over again, they should have been like had him shoot his film and then have somebody else like do reshoots and edit it and do some really bad CG over that, you know, Dario number 2's beard. And like then like bring like, oh, we got the Zack Snyder cut, but like you can't do that twice. I don't know what the fucking motivations are to have and to know ahead of time. Like he basically said like before this movie came out that there will be a rated R version and it's a director's cut. It's like well, you made this one.
Yeah.
Is this not a director's
Why don't
cut?
they just release them both at the same fucking time? The one that says fuck a little more often and there's some more blood, or somebody gets decapitated. And then you have this one, release them both same time and say one's parental, this one's PG-13 for you kids and this one's for the adults, which is, I want to see how many more slow-mo shots there's going to be in the extended Snyder
That's
cut.
what made some of the runtime happen. Just the most mundane shit. Like even in like the cantina,
Yeah.
slow motion, jump over the table and flip it over for cover. That's not an exciting moment.
No.
Why does that have to be in slow-mo?
Why does he have to slow-mo every fucking thing? Like,
We should do a video
yeah.
that's like
The Snyder.
the Snyder version of mundane things.
Actually,
Like
that's pretty
making a
funny.
PB&J.
That's pretty
Like
funny.
spreading that butter. Although for us, it'll probably end up looking sexy.
We could do that's something really short
Just like
and easy we could do.
You're just spreading that butter, and you see it like slow motion on there, and it cuts like the face, and you just go, "Oh yeah, spread that." I think we got gold there.
I think we should do it with the toaster too, and then and it's the butter on the toast, and you watch the toaster before it pops. It's that slow mo thing of it just slowly popping up. Actually, mine raises really slow. We have a newer one. It's kind of boring. It goes down slow and it comes up slow. Does yours pop up like the old school kinds where
We don't
just
actually.
pops?
We don't have that style toast. We just have a toaster oven.
Fancy motherfucker.
How's that fancy?
It's fancy, and it's dumb. You just drop it in the slots, push the button, walk away. The toaster oven just kind of. I mean,
We have limited
why?
space, so we picked something that was
Toaster small.
more versatile.
How much shit are you putting in this thing?
Well, we'll toast a sandwich in there.
Oh, you're
Well,
one of
toasted
those
sandwich?
people. You toast your fucking sandwiches. Is that what you do? I'm gonna have myself my turkey and Swiss sandwich. You're gonna toast your bread.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you people do that?
Why not?
Why?
You don't like a warm sandwich?
No.
You really no warm sandwiches?
No. And why are you toasting your bread on your sandwich? Just eat the sandwich.
Well, you put you put the meat and the cheese fixings on there too. You get a little warmer meat and a little melty cheese.
Oh, that sounds awful. That's like a Philly cheesesteak or something.
You don't like Philly cheesesteaks?
Yeah, that's too much. It's too much. Besides the heart attack you're eating, it's too much.
Heart attack.
Anyway, you weirdos that toaster, or you go to Subway, and I get so fucking irritated.
That's something completely different.
You want this toasted? No, I'm never gonna want it toasted. Stop asking me if I want it toasted. Just
A lot of people like it toasted.
it's just
Leave,
harder.
like-
It's harder to eat. It takes
for
longer
YouTube
to chew.
folks. Do you like your shit toasted? Leave us a comment. Like and share. Ask your friends. Take a whole poll. Tell us the results. Tell me that Michael's wrong.
Yeah, Michael's an idiot because he doesn't toast his. Do you toast your peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No. That one stays cold.
Okay.
There's certain things like, sometimes it's nice to have that toast, that change of texture, a little crisp.
No.
Not everything just mush.
Nope.
I mean, on a cold sandwich, that's why you put lettuce on there. Get a little crunch.
No, it's not why I do it.
You don't like the little crunch?
No, I like the little wetness that comes out when you bite into it.
I bet you do.
It's true. I like that.
I'm
I'm not there for the crunch.
I feel sorry for Claire.
Pickles are what gave you the crunch. You put the pickles on. The pickles will give you a crunch.
are disgusting.
You're so fucking weird. This guy, again, does not put any condiments whatsoever on his food because he's weird.
Well,
And he doesn't like pickles either.
I don't like vinegar.
That's why you toast your shit, because you don't put anything on it.
Hey, man, you got to make it exciting. Keep it exciting. A little crunch, crunch.
Anyway, don't watch this movie. We'll watch the next one for you too and tell you how god awful that is. What if that one's amazing in the first half? No, it's going to be stupid. He's going to make him into some like Akira, half robot, half. Wasn't he in that too?
Who?
Akira, or is it not
Oh,
Akira?
are you talking about-
Alita Battle.
I never
else.
saw Alita Battle Angel, but
He's in that.
I think he was.
And
Yeah.
he's like cyborg.
Yeah.
Over half his body. They're going to do this shit to him again.
Apparently, he's already part robot anyway. They had like the the Matrix
there was a
plug in his head.
That's right. And there was.
And oh wait, I forgot the tentacle porn. He was like fucking a octopus or some shit.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. My brain shut a lot of that shit off. I can't.
Like so much of it was so bizarre. Like I said, like if you're gonna like make a whole new fucking world, right? Keep your story simple, and also less characters. I'll keep pointing to Mad Max Fury Road.
Sure, I love that movie.
Limited number of characters, very simple story. Let the world kind of speak for itself, and that people like discover like, oh, they see like, oh, water is a luxury. Cool. Like you don't have to do anything crazy. Just I hate that the audience is treated like they're fucking idiots. But I get, because we do it in every industry. I'm a designer. We act like people are idiots. Sorry if that's news. Lowest common denominator. But yeah, like I feel like there should be 2 tiers of movies, right? Movies where like they're like, okay, the audience doesn't need help, and ones where they do.
There's gonna be a rating system on there.
You have to show your college degree to get into one movie set, and anybody else can get in the other ones. That sounds really elitist.
It does sound elitist,
but I don't know how you, I don't know how you do it otherwise. Like I guess like that's not marketable. It's like that's why I like Christopher Nolan so much. He has like these complex movies, and most of the time he doesn't give a shit whether you understand it or not.
I still haven't seen Tenet, by the way.
Oh, Tenet's fun.
That's the only one of his I haven't seen.
You should see it. I think you would enjoy it. It's one of those ones that is definitely like, okay, what the fuck's happening? But then when you catch certain things, you're like, oh, that idea is really fucking cool. But does the whole idea, like, if you really put it like under a microscope, does it hold up? I don't know. There's some weird pseudoscience shit going on in there. But like, I can buy it. I'll go into it. Okay. He has a situation that he's going through right now where, of course, I haven't seen Oppenheimer, so that might change my mind entirely. My God, because so he was at least like with like Tenet and
Dunkirk.
And I think maybe another one, but like
I found Dunkirk just okay.
It was getting, yeah, I did too, which is kind of sad.
It's sad.
But he was more about the, and he's a fan of Snyder, by the way. They're like friends. He goes to bat for Snyder all the time. And I think it's because like Nolan is about like the magic, like the spectacle of the film. But he started to like, at least he was getting into a phase where that was more important than like character development.
Yeah.
Or diet, like, cause like he got into like this really booming sound, and like that was been a lot of complaints about his movies. Like you can't hear the fucking people talk.
Yeah. With the sound editing though in this film, I thought was pretty damn good.
And which one?
This shitty movie we watched, the Rebel
Oh,
movie.
sure.
I actually was like, the sound editing I thought was really, really good in it. That's it. Literally.
Well, there you go. You said one thing nice.
Can you say one thing nice that you liked about any of it?
I don't know that I can.
Yeah, I literally can't.
I mean, I liked that it was kind of the establishment of me and Kara doing like a movie night again, but that is not really anything to do with the movie itself.
Oh, you made her watch that too?
Oh yeah, she watched it.
Poor girl. What'd she think about it?
I didn't actually.
If she liked that movie, she's getting further and further down on my list.
I doubt she liked it because I was like, we didn't really talk about it afterwards. Usually if like we watch something and like she likes it, like the first thing the next morning, she'll just be like, she'll just ask me a question, like like no context, and it'll have to do with what we watched.
Oh.
She'll be like, why do you think he did that? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you know what he did, the thing and the thing. And I'm like, are you talking about the fictional character in the movie we watched last night? She's like, yeah. Because the writer said so. I don't know.
Does she go to bed just letting it just
it like marinates.
Marinates for a while, yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll come back to her. Sometimes it'll take her like a day or two to tell if she likes something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she'll come back, she's like, you know what? I like that thing. It grew on me. that describes our relationship.
And many, many facets. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Yeah.
It grew on me.
Yeah. That's anatomy.
That's marriage.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
I don't. It's shit. It was real shit.
We will watch part 2. Debatable, although we'll probably watch the rated R shit.
I know. And if anybody has anything that you found anything good about it, you can put that in the comments because I would love to know what anybody found remotely entertaining about it at all.
I want maybe what we should do. I don't know if we can really do this. It would have to be like a limited thing.
Okay.
Do like a watch party of the rated R one, like on a specific day at a specific time. We'll live stream us reacting to it.
Oh God.
You won't be able to. We won't be able to like show it or like have the audio going. But people could be like, we're gonna start at 7:00 this date. If you want to join the watch party, we are just gonna shit on it or talk over it the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds fun. I think we should do that.
I don't know. I don't really know how you do that, but like it's a thought. It's a thought.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. And one of you knows how to do it.
That's
Leave
important.
a comment below
With instructions
on the YouTube thing for podcasts. You can't even contact us. You just hear our voices in the void.
There's no email address that you gave ever at any time. Do we have an email address for this? I knew we had it for Clownface and Gas Mask.
God, yes, we do.
Is it Borden, Ohio?
Can you tell who does the work?
Oh, don't even.
In this relationship.
Don't even. In
And
regards
trust me,
to this?
it is work.
In regards to this?
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we're struggling to end this. So
The movie exhausted me, and I'm exhausted talking about it again. Like, it's depressing.
all right, so we'll just end there before he passes out in my basement. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and keep listening or watching and subscribing and telling your friends because Michael has a very fragile ego.
I do.
And if the numbers don't go up, he gets really down.
I start climbing higher and higher on that building.
He'll jump. See you guys next time.
See ya.